Okay, we're going to try this one, see how it works. So I should be live here any second. Wait, that's weird. That's weird. What is going on here? Okay. Am I showing up yet? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, it looks like we're getting started here. I apologize for the weirdness, but I think I got it figured out. So let me link everybody in the old stream to where we were, and then we're going to get started right away. Not sure why I did that again. It actually hasn't done that for a while. Okay, link to new stream. There we go. All right, everybody, head over to the new stream, even though I'm already talking to it. So hold on. Let me get everything adjusted here since YouTube has failed me again. Or maybe it was a user error. Who knows? All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. Okay. Does okay, hold on. Oh, and of course there's this. Okay. They never make anything easy. All right. Let's see here, but I think I got it figured out. So just give me a second and then we'll get started here. Okay, refresh if you don't have picture or sound. Okay, try that out. See how that works. Hopefully that adjusts it, and then we will be able to get started. Hello, everybody out in attendance tonight. We got Carol back here once again. Thanks for coming. We got Angie, Gary Cook, David, Bernadine back again. Jordan's back, of course, and some others. Let's see. We got Tanny back again. We got Linda and Barbara. Okay, so hopefully everything is working out for you. Let me know if it's not. It looks like on my end everything is good and ready to go. So we will get started here in a couple of seconds once I kind of get my head together. So hold on a minute. Second, I mean. Okay, I'm going to get the Facebook stream started, so it'll just be another second. Hey, Mal. Hello. Julio back once again. So happy everybody could join us. Just give me another few minutes, or not few minutes, few seconds, and I'll have it. So here we go. Okay. Hello, students. Welcome back to our wonderful classroom. Your teacher, Tim, here again, and we're going to have another wonderful class. Hopefully everybody is excited for tonight's lesson. I know I am. So let me, wait, hold on. Gotta get this back up into shape, and here we go. So we're going to get started here right now. Okay, thank you for coming out tonight. If you are new, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and like if you are on Facebook, because you want to make sure you're getting all the updates. We meet Fridays and Sundays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you don't want to miss out. So make sure you do those things. You want to share this lesson as well, because the more students we have in here, the better of a class experience we'll have, and the more we'll learn all together. Hello, students. Your teacher, Tim, back once again, and today I'm going to teach you about how to play in cut time, which is a time signature. And really what cut time is the time signature 2-2. And as the name suggests, you're cutting all of the note values in half. So this tells you if that there are 2 beats in a measure, which is the top number, and that the half note gets 1 beat, which is the bottom number. How cut time is different than 4/4? Well, since the half note gets 1 beat in this case, that's what the 2 on the bottom means. That also means that the quarter note is now going to get half of a beat, and all of the other note values are now cut in half. So eighth note is now worth a quarter of a beat because it was worth half of a beat before. How many is a dotted half going to be worth in 2/2 or cut time? Well, if it's worth 3 beats, it's only going to be worth 1.5 beats now. All right, now let's continue here. What's the point? Why not just count it in 4/4? And I'll show you like as we play our example here. But cut time is good for pieces with many 16ths and 32nd note values, because if you think about it, if you're cutting all the note values in half, you won't need as many 8th notes or 16th notes and so forth, because remember, the quarter notes now take the place of the 8th notes. The 8th notes take the place of the 16th notes. It actually helps clean up the music if the note values are written in smaller values. So that's one of the purposes behind it. So you have less flags going on all the way across all the notes. Okay, cut time also makes it easier to count if you're playing fast, since you won't have to constantly be counting and saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Instead, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Or really 1, 2, 1, 2, rather than 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's just a lot to say. Now, obviously, you're not going to be counting that out loud most of the time when you're playing, but you know, just counting in that 1-2 rhythm really keeps move things forward. All right, let's take a look and continue here. All right, I want to look at an example together, because all this talking isn't going to get us anywhere, is it? It only takes us so far. So here's our example. It's Sonatina in C major, which our student Rich had suggested that we talk about today. So normally in 4/4, if I was counting this out, I'd be counting 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Whew. A lot to say, right? And even in your head, it's a lot of brain power going into those. And don't get me wrong, counting it, actually, what I recommend is if you're a beginner, count cut time pieces in 4/4, because that'll make sure that you are being very accurate with your rhythms. However, if you count it in 2, it just makes it flow a lot nicer. And I'll try my best to count along with this. I'll start with the metronome if I have any trouble. But 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oops, it should have been 1, 2, 1, 2. Just like that. So when you play in cut time, what I recommend you do to start out with is I recommend you start out with the metronome. Let's get the metronome up in here. Ooh, streamception here. Just type metronome into Google, and when you're playing in cut time, you want to set the BPMs lower, because cut time actually moves a lot quicker since you only have 2 beats going on instead of 4. Now let me get the volume up here. What happened to you, metronome? Let me see here. See what happened. Well, that works. Why is the metronome not working? Because we're having a live stream, that's why. Well, anyway, I don't know. Let me go. There's actually one on Bing. So we're going to use that one as well as a backup. Oh, that one works. Okay. Google just is not cooperating today. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to set it to maybe, I don't know, like 50. Oh, no, that's actually a little too slow for me. How about 70? Okay, so you start up your metronome. You get your piece out. So here we go. Oh, sorry about that. I got like a little thing that popped up here. Let me also turn this up to make sure you can hear it. All right, here we go. We're ready now. I think I can still do better than that. Let's try again. So a lot a lot better that time. Okay, so the main point of it, as you can surmise, is that we're counting in 2 rather than 4, and it really just helps move along the beats quite a bit better. All right, let's take a look at another example together. Okay, let me get this out. I mostly have it out. I just need to scroll down here, so just give me a second. Let's see. No, that's number 2. Okay, here we have the Politique Sonata third movement. I'm just going to play the first 2 or 3 lines here so you get the idea here. So normally, if I was counting at 4, it would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and you get the idea. So a lot to say, a lot to think about, and like I said, when you're first starting to learn this piece, you might actually want to do that just to make sure you're hitting all the 8th notes on all the ands. But really, it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. It's really hard to say and do at the same time. So let me start with that metronome again so we can do it properly. All right, let me get out Bing. Oh, it's already up. Okay, this one I'm going to do a little bit slower since this one is quite a bit more to handle. Oh, let me set the measure length to 2. And now it doesn't matter whether you really set it to 2 or 4. The difference is the accent that it gives you. See how this one has like a higher pitch? That's your beat 1. Okay, on with the show. Okay, you get your metronome started up. And there we go. Let me actually set it up even a little bit faster. I think I undershot it a little bit. It was kind of messing with my head. See what 70 is like. Okay. I think that's a little bit more manageable. And there, you get the idea from that. Let me get this thing shut off here. All right. There we go. All right. Let's take a look here. And that does it. So that's, let me get back to me here. So that does it. So that's the explanation of how to count and cut time. It's very simple, as you can tell. The only real difference is that instead of counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you're just counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that really helps keep the music moving along. It also, if you're good at rhythm already, you don't have to focus on all the subdivisions of each beat. You might if there's more complicated rhythm. You can still subdivide 2, 2, or cut time 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. It's just going to go a lot faster. So that's basically what cut time is all about and how to play it. Okay, we got some questions here. The Real Winslet fan asks, is cut time only common in classical music, or are there jazz, blues, pop examples? It's mostly common in, I really don't know. I've seen it in jazz, but I think it's really common in classical. So let me take a look here. Cut time, jazz. It definitely does exist in jazz. Let me get out of Bing. Why am I at Bing? Ugh. Okay. Okay, here you go. This answers it for me. Cut time has certain musical associations. Many jazz pieces, pop tunes, and marches are written in this meter, while 2/4 time can progress at just about any tempo. Cut time is usually performed fast. So that's the difference between 2/4 and 2/2, is that cut time has a much quicker tempo to it. So yeah, you will see that in other types of music. Unfortunately, I did not prepare those today. I actually did not think far ahead enough to think of picking two like contrasting examples. I just picked two that I thought would be good. Hey, we got Eclipse here. How you doing, Eclipse? It looks like it is Eclipse's first time out to our classroom, so welcome out. So happy you could join us. We meet Fridays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I would love if you could come back again. Anybody, that goes for anybody, new and returning today. Except Sunday, I forgot to write that we are, or mark down that we are off on Sunday due to Mother's Day. How do you count triplets in that? Good question. I don't know. I don't play a lot of songs in cut time. Let me think about it. So instead of a quarter note triplet taking up the value of a quarter, let me think this through here. Instead of the quarter note triplet or the eighth note triplet taking up, like if you had 4/4 and straight triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, like that, it would be one. It would be twice as fast because it would go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and you would basically count it the same way you would in 4/4. It like the 3/8 notes would take up the value of a quarter note. Just remember that a quarter note now in cut time only gets half of a beat rather than one beat. So let me see if I can add it into the sonatina here if I'm clever. So if you want to do triplets here at the end of like this first measure, let's bring it in here. So normally be, wait, let me play it real slow to fit in the triplets. So remember that, with the triplet, you're replacing one beat and you're breaking it up into 3 parts. So we're going to replace this. Let's see, it would actually be the second beat. It's the G there. And that's how you put a triplet in. So it would still be counted as 1, 2, 1, 2. If I turn those into triplets there. So just keep in mind that the triplet still does the same thing in that you're really fitting 3 notes into one. But this time it's really, you have to do it faster. They're just played faster. Okay, so Tim, I decided to withdraw from recital. I decided I wasn't ready yet. Oh, sorry to hear that, but I've done the same thing before. When I got close, I didn't feel quite ready. So yeah, I have withdrawn or like come up with a different strategy on what songs I'm going to play. Hey, Roy Sanza, how you doing? Welcome out to our live stream. You're welcome back anytime. So happy you could join our family here in our classroom. Let's see. Whoa, asparagus water, which I haven't seen in a long time. Months, asparagus water. I have not seen you. Welcome. I got let me get to a question I saw from Barbara up here. I don't want to make Barbara feel like I'm missing her question. How does it compare to 2/4 and marches? So I did mention, like, they had that description up on Google that 2/2, they're counted almost exactly the same way. Let me think here for a second. Yeah, because you would still have 2 beats in each measure. The difference between 2/4 and 2/2 is really that bottom number instead of a 4 is a 2, which is obvious. But what that really means is that in 2/4, you still have quarter notes worth 1 beat, right? In 2/2, though, the quarter note is now worth half of a beat and everything is cut in half. And cut time pieces, as we read from the description here, are generally played a bit faster. Also, like I mentioned in the beginning of the lesson, that cut time helps reduce the amount of smaller value notes. So you don't really need 16th notes anymore because the 8th notes take up that. You don't really need 8th notes anymore, except when you're doing 16th notes, because the quarter notes really take the place of that. So cut time moves quite a bit quicker. To 2/4, you're still going to be counting, 1, 2, or your quarter notes still as 1, 2. And marches, well, cut time is often used in marches, actually, and if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because it has that 1, 2, 1, 2, and you can think about your feet moving back and forth, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it works out just perfectly. Although there are a lot of marches in 4/4, they're just played a bit quicker there. Okay. Bing has trouble finding Google. Rhythm is very useful, and it's also my weakest subject in music theory, says Julio. Hello, Grace. Okay. Although I said hi to Grace before. Do you have a lesson on hymnals? Unfortunately, I do not, Roy. I wish I did. I'm trying to think if I do or not. The closest thing I have to it is the sight reading lesson we did a while back, where I briefly talk about hymnals, because hymnals are actually a great way to practice your sight reading. If you want to find the lesson that I'm talking about, go to our old friend YouTube and type in, let's see what you want to type in. You want to be typing in how to sight read the best way. And mine is number 2 right there, so you want to check that out. Obviously, you know my face by now. And I'm actually, no, I'm not wearing the same shirt. I'm wearing a darker shirt today. So how to read sheet music the best way. So check that one out. I really do need to make a lesson on just playing hymnals. I would definitely be willing to do that. Okay, hello. We got Pankaj. Hello from Pankaj, India. All right, well, welcome out. So happy you could join us. It looks like we got some new students here today, which I am super, super excited about. You answered as I wrote it. That's what happened, because I was like, I thought I did answer that. Gary Cook from Sunday Stream on creating melodies. Is rhythm and melodies the same thing in music? No, rhythm and melodies are definitely different things. Let me explain this really quick. So a melody, right? First of all, when we're talking about melody or harmony, we're talking about pitches, and pitches are just notes up and down on the piano. A rhythm is the pattern of notes over a period of time. So if I play something like this, that's a rhythm. Now, it's not really a melody because it's just one single note. But like I said, when we're talking about melody, we're talking about like things like Jingle Bells, that top part that we all recognize, that is the melody. Now, the melody also has a rhythm to it, too. If I take away the pitches to it, it's like that. That's the rhythm of the melody. It actually did take me some time to know the difference, like really understand the difference between the two as well. Oh, man. So Real One's a fan has to scoot, unfortunately. So happy you could come and join us today. Always welcome back, Andy. At least I believe you're Andy. Because some of your names are different in the Facebook group. Julio, when there's a dotted quarter note in cut time, does that mean you just add another half of a beat? That's a good question. A dotted quarter note in cut time, does that mean that you just add another half of a beat? It would actually be less because, right, if it's worth 1.5 beats before, it's only going to be worth 3/4 of a beat. So let me get an example here that I can. Oh, really? I closed that? Here. The one example we had up was good. Let me get that up for you. Let me get the Politique Sonata up again, and let me get back to where we were because I can explain this. I think hopefully there are some dotted quarters in here. I think there are. Yep, right in the first measure. So this is actually a perfect example. I was gonna say for a second, please tell me I have my pen down here, because if I don't have my pen down here, I can't show you. And then let me see. Turn this on. Okay, good. It's so nice when things work, isn't it? Okay. Oh, I got to show you. Somehow we got off to that. Hopefully it hasn't been showing that. Recap this lesson in 30 seconds. Maybe. We'll see if we have time here in a minute. Okay, so here we go. I want to show you this. Okay, so in our example from before, right, we have some dotted quarter notes right here. And before a dotted quarter note takes up 1.5 beats, now it takes up 3/4 of a beat. Now keep in mind that we also have these eighth notes down below. How many beats is an eighth note worth? Well, you may be saying half of a beat, right? Well, no, now they're only worth 1/4 of a beat. So if you wanted to count this out, into 16th notes, you would count this as 1 E, and yeah, let me get, is there like a way to get the pen? No, that's not what I want. Size. All right, yeah, let me get the size down here because it's too thick to show you. Oh, come on. All right, anyway, you got 1 E and right? And now keep in mind that you have to ask yourself before, how many beats are well, let me put it this way. I'm not used to thinking in cut time. So each of these is now worth 1/4 of a beat, right? The 1 E and And remember that this now takes up 3/4 of a beat. So this is equal to 3 of these. Oops. I've drawn it not so good. So one dotted quarter note is worth 3 of those. So when I'm playing this, I'm holding this E for as long as I play the C, E, and G. Now, this tip still remains, like from before when you're counting in 4/4, as you do in any time signature, actually, that you want to be lining everything up vertically. So obviously you'll hit these at the same time. You got these 2 notes by themselves. You're going to hit this next note with that one. So still just make sure that you're lining them up with the other note values, and you should be fine. Okay. Brenda, thank you very much for that tip for somebody else there, Gary. We got Brenda says, sorry I'm late, but a hot air balloon landed 2 yards over, and I actually went up for a ride. That's really, really cool, Brenda. I'm really jealous, actually. Okay, we got, let's see, we got, Tim, is there another method for that, another than using abbreviation while sight reading? It's very mind-boggling, like solving mathematical problem every time. Let me see if I get this question right. Any other method other than using abbreviation while sight reading? Yeah, I think Gary hit it on the head where Gary says, check out Tim's lessons on sight reading and interval recognition. So all you got to do for that, I'm going to actually tell you and give everybody a pro tip if you are new tonight on how to find my lessons. And it's actually just how we found that sight reading lesson. Type in, actually one lesson I want to tell you about is how to read music faster. That's one that's really good. And hey, I show up first for that one. So check out that lesson. That one's all about the reading the intervals. So mark that down, how to read music faster. And then you also want to check out my sight reading, which we just looked up. But if you just type in sight reading or whatever subject you want, plus lessons on the web, that will take you where you want to go. So always use that little tip to figure out, to see if I have a lesson on it or not. And if I don't, feel free always to request it, and I'd be happy to try to fit it in or see what I can do with that. I can't do every single lesson since I kind of have them scheduled out already, but take a look at that. All right. And then actually, you know what? There's a lesson right below that I see that you want to check out too that I forgot it totally existed. How to read music notes on piano better with this interval practice session. So that's one where I actually practice the intervals. So you're going to want to check that out. Okay, let's take a look here. We got Barbara says, do I like wait a second. Asparagus Water says, Tim, do you like A440 or A432 better? I've always been an A440 guy, to tell you the truth. Barbara asks, I think when they invented musical notation, they said, let's make a secret code that will take years to learn. I agree. All right, let's see here. Tim, would it be all right if somehow we could get Skype and I could get some tips? Yeah, you know what? I am in the process. I need to give you guys an update, because I'm in the process of developing a new service on the website for Skype lessons. Now, it does cost money, but you can sign up for it's $25 a half hour, and you may be thinking, wow, that's expensive. But it's really only expensive if you take the lessons every week, which you might be interested in. If you're really serious about learning music, you might want to, take me up on that offer. But you don't have to take them ongoing. You can just take one lesson here or there, have me listen to you play, ask me some really in-depth questions, get some personalized attention. I think the $25 of half an hour of my time is definitely worth it. That service is going to be up on the website. I hope to have it up this week. I have been making progress on it every week since I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, and I'm very close to having it ready. So I've just been working out all of the different logistics on how it's going to work. So that is coming up soon. So the answer is yes to that. Stay tuned for that service. Gary says, one good tip deserves another. Thank you so much, Gary. I really appreciate that tip that you gave me, that super chat. If you like our lesson tonight, if you believe in our mission of teaching the world piano and music so that you can spread that gift with others, feel free to leave us a super chat. Always very much appreciated. Or another great way to support the channel is going over to pianolessonsontheweb.com and picking up some courses. That way you learn a lot more about piano and music, and you help me out and the channel out at the same time. Gary says $25 for a one-on-one, not expensive at all. I agree. I wanted to start it at $25 because I wanted to see how big of a how fast I could fill up the schedule. Over time, I might increase it by a little bit, but I thought $25 was fair, especially for an online lesson where I'm not actually physically there with you. But the great thing about it is that I've taught people over Skype before, and you may think, well, don't I need a camera set up like yours, Tim? And the answer is not really. So long as I can hear you over the microphone, and I can give you a lot of feedback and advice. How to read music faster with this special technique video is very helpful. Thank you very much, David. I personally, and actually a lot of others too, think it's one of my best lessons I've put out on the channel. Hey, Tim, would you mind recapping the lesson at the end? Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Actually, I'll do it real quick here. So today we talked about 2/2 time signature, which is also known as cut time. In cut time, you're cutting all of the note values in half. So here we have this example here. If I was counting this in 4/4, I would count it normally 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. But this time, I'm now cutting all the notes in half. So instead of 1, 2, and 3, it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And the reason we do that is, first of all, it reduces clutter, because now you don't need as many 16th notes or 8th notes, because now the 8th notes take up the value of the 16th note since they're cut in half. Now the quarter notes are now worth half of a beat, so you don't really need as many 8th notes. It helps kind of clean up the music, as well as kind of give you, it's really a lot better for playing faster pieces, just because that counting 1, 2, 1, 2 is a lot easier than doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is fine if you're a beginner and you're trying to really map out each individual beat. So cut time's better for playing faster. Hey, DJ OG Westcoast, what up? Hey, Tim, good to see you again, bro. Good to see you again, DJ OG Westcoast, who is an OG of our channel, which reminds me, Rich isn't even here tonight, and he's the one that requested we talk about cut time. Which is alright. I understand. He probably had something going on. Well, welcome out, DJ. I'm so happy to have you here. Adria says, another reason why I love this channel, he makes it work. He does what he is capable of in his power to make the live streams work. That is true. I do. Whatever's in my power. You know, sometimes things happen outside of my power, but, you know, I try to deal. Okay, let me see if I missed anybody. You're very welcome, Asparagus Water. I guess I could have done the lesson that fast, but I wanted to show you some examples. And the recording will be provided for you, by the way. So check that out when we're done. Seeing if I missed anybody. I don't think I did. I apologize if I missed anybody's question. Okay, Grace says yes. All right. Random question, is B sharp C? Good question. This is an excellent question, and one that's simple, fairly simple to answer. Is B sharp C? So as you know, sharps make the note go one to the right. So, you know, if instead of C, you have C sharp. Instead of D, you have D sharp, like that. Well, now you have, instead of B, you have B sharp. Well, the answer is, on the piano, they are exactly the same note. They sound the same, and everything pitch-wise. So you may be thinking, well, why have B sharp, right? Like, why wouldn't I just always call that note C? And other than to make your life completely crazy and miserable, there is a real answer behind why they do. Let me get this down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes if the lighting's not right, it bothers me. What is that? There's like something. Anyway, I'll deal with it later. Now's not the time. But anyway, you may be thinking, why does B sharp even exist? Why would they write that in there? Well, it has a lot to do, first of all, with chord spellings. Now, I'm not talking about C-H-O-R-D. I'm talking about the notes that make up a chord. So say we have a C chord, right? You play C, you evenly space out some notes, and there's your C chord. Every single C chord, whether it's C, C sharp, C minor, C flat, C diminished, C augmented, has to have a C of some kind, an E of some kind, and a G of some kind, no matter what. Now, when you change from C major to different kind of chords, you are altering those notes. So for augmented, it would be C, E, and G sharp, like that. But it's still a C, E, and G of some type. Say you have a C flat chord. You have C flat, and then you have E flat, G flat. So that's a C flat chord. And you may be saying, well, that looks awful like a B chord. Well, like I said, they look exactly the same. However, they are spelled different. It just so happens that to hit that C flat chord, we need a C of some kind, an E of some kind, and a G of some kind. So you have to call this one C flat rather than, than B. Now, on the other end, from B to B sharp, say you have an F chord. Or no. an E major chord, E, G sharp, B. Every E chord, whether it's E major, E minor, E flat, E sharp, has to have an E of some kind, a G of some kind, and a B of some kind. So say we're playing an E augmented chord, we have E, G sharp, and C. Nope, it's not called C. It has to be B sharp. And that's just the way the chord spellings work out. That really, now it might not seem like it at first, but that does help alleviate confusion, because if you're talking about an E chord and you see it on paper and you see that C there, it's going to be really off-putting as to what kind of chord that is. Okay. Great question from Pankaj. Says, any tips for mastering relative pitch or ear training? Yes, I do. Tip number one is look up about learning intervals and interval recognition, which is, learning the distance between two different notes. So being able to hear this and this and being, okay, that sounds like a major third to me. Or maybe hearing like something like this. Oh, that's a perfect fourth. And the tip for that is to assign songs to each of those intervals. For instance, a major second is the beginning to Happy Birthday. I guess I should be showing you here. Beginning to Happy Birthday, just like that. So you want to first learn all your intervals, or maybe not first, but learn your intervals and learn the difference between the chords. So know that sounds like a major chord. That's what a minor chord sounds like. That's a diminished. That's an augmented. You want to hear those basic four chords, and then you want to move on to seventh chords. If you want to really learn how ear training works, I have a wonderful ear training course over on my website, because I don't have a lot of lessons yet on the YouTube channel where I go into ear training in depth. So let me show you here. Over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I have a bunch of music courses. But if you click on the music courses tab and click on ear training here, we have our ear training course. And the ear training course is going to teach you how to hear the difference between chords, how to hear the difference between notes, also intervals, pick out mistakes in your playing more easily, and play back what you hear on the piano. Hey, that's basically all the stuff I just mentioned. So if you want to learn about ear training, and you want to learn how to play by ear, you want to take this course. It's the best thing I have right now in terms of resources to give you to learn this kind of stuff. And there will be practice assignments and things like that. So also use code YouTube during checkout. You can get 15% off this course. When you're ready, just click on buy course, and then when you check out, type in YouTube, code YouTube. Well, don't type in code YouTube, type in just YouTube. All right, so that's what I want you to check out for that. And then anybody else, let me kind of tell everybody about my courses in general. Okay, so over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I have over 20 courses designed to help you learn piano music. There's courses for beginners, intermediate students, and advanced students. So whether you're just getting started here on the channel or you are moving into more the intermediate and advanced territory, there's a lot of content here to offer you. It's the same types of instructional videos you can expect from the channel, same style. They are exclusive to the website, though. You're not going to find them other places on YouTube or anywhere for free. And there's courses to help you learn piano, theory, improvisation, rhythm, and ear training, like we just mentioned, and anything I thought you needed to become a well-rounded musician. So pianolessonsontheweb.com, go check it out. Use code YouTube to get 15% off any course or any course pack. If you go to the buy courses page, you can also get a deal by purchasing courses in these packs. You just click on whatever pack you want to take a look at, and you can see what courses are included with it. So I highly recommend you check that out there. Okay, back to what we were talking about here. The allergies got me a little bit, but we are in the last 10 minutes or so, so I think I'll manage. Okay, hi, Laredo. No need to feel bad. You made it. Wait, Laredo's late. Good evening / morning, everybody. I must tell you, I must trust that you're all well. I'm so embarrassed to join you so late. That's okay. It really feels like I am rather early for the next lesson. I would think about it that way. I'm a positive person. I like to think about things positively. So if you want to, if you want to, join us super early for the next lesson, you made it just on time. Roy Saunders says, slow connection. See you next time. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome, Roy. Hopefully you can check out the recording later on to help you out. I also recommend if you have a slow connection, go to the little gear on the, let me show you guys. Let me show you. If you ever experience connection problems on your end, like say your internet connection is not really good, go to YouTube, click on this like little icon here, and click on quality and turn it down. And that will actually make your ability to stream it a lot better. Ooh, that looks terrible though. You might not want to turn it down that far. Turn it down to maybe 480, and you can still see fairly clearly enough anyway. But that's one tip I have for you if you're having any trouble, connecting, or you're kind of dropping off. Explain so much, thank you. Leo says, I think I get it now. In comparison to the dotted quarter note, in common time is 1/2, but in cut time it is 1/4. Yes. Same reason why E sharp is F. That is true. Your classes have doubled in size since I was last here. Well, glad to hear that very much, DJ OG Westcoast. I have been doing a better job of notifying people that we are meeting, and I've also been building, as a lot of you have noticed, building our community on Facebook. And actually, a lot of you attending tonight may be very well have first seen me on Facebook instead of YouTube. Kind of weird, I know, if you've been following me on YouTube for a while. But yeah, we have a Facebook page now. Well, we've had it for a while. We also have one for like, I'm not going to open that up here because I don't really want to accidentally show you my list of friends or anything like that. Okay, let's take a look here. See what we got. The gear icon. Peace, Tim. My bad for joining late. That's okay. I'll make sure to come as early as possible next time for sure. All right. Well, thank you very much, OG Westcoast. Thank you for coming out. We're going to wrap up here in a few minutes anyway. So happy you could join us, and hope to see you again. Oh, the icons do not show up on your phone or tablet. Ooh, that is disappointing. I don't know a workaround for that. All right, everybody, any questions before we go tonight? I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to tell you. Sunday we have off. I know on the calendar it probably says that we're still on, but we're definitely taking off. I will remember, hopefully, to remove that from the calendar and let everybody know that we have the night off on Sunday. Thanks, Tim. Sorry I haven't been participating much on your recent streams. That's okay. They happen while I'm at work. Well, I can certainly understand. New schedule. But I have the stream running in the background, and I just listen. Well, that's no problem, Fireflower. Thank you for coming out. Yeah, welcome back anytime. One of our great students. Allergies are from the basement. I agree. You know what? I need to clean up down here. I think that would help. And then a quick update on buying the house is that there's no real update other than I discovered that when you own your own business, I may have mentioned this before, when you own your own business, you can try to buy a house. What they do is they take, instead of just taking last year's income, like if you make W-2 here in the States, they usually just take like it's very easy to prove your income when you're making W-2 when you're working for like a corporation or for somebody else. When you own your own business, first of all, they're a bit more strict. What they do is they take 2 years of your income and average them together, which is a problem. Now, this last year isn't a problem. It was great. The year before was a problem for two reasons. One, I didn't make as much money, and two, I spent a lot more money on a lot of the equipment that's running the stream right now, actually. That's when I really bought a lot of the new equipment that we use that has really paid off. It was totally worth it, but that brings my income down, and averaging them together, it doesn't work out quite as well. However, I learned that there's another type of mortgage loan I might qualify for that uses only 1 year of income. And they figure it out with your bank statements, and I think they still use 1 year of your tax returns. So I'm looking into seeing if I can get that. The only thing about that is it would be at a higher mortgage rate or higher interest rate. And I need to kind of weigh what the difference would be, because if I wait another 7 months into the new year, I can submit a new tax return for this year, which is going to be pretty good, I think, which would help me out immensely. So I'm still on the fence. It's still like 50-50 as to whether it's happening or not this year, but I'll give you updates as it's coming along. I'm still excited about it, whether it happens, in a month or two, or whether it happens in, early next year. I'm really excited about it since we're going to be moving into a more professional studio. I know I make it work down here. I think we've come a long way since the first videos that I put out. But I just wanted to give you all a little bit of an update on what was happening with that. Luria says, LOL, thanks, Abigail. Oh, on mobile, it's the triple vertical dot, says asparagus water. Okay. But I will try it on the computer. All right. Okay. I was so exhausted that I actually embarrassingly fell asleep in front of the computer just over an hour ago while I was waiting to be a part of the lesson, says Laredo. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, Barbara says, I moved across the country to find a house cheap enough to pay cash for. I can't afford the Northeast. Where I am, it's not, you know what, actually, compared to like Texas, I could buy a house in Texas, I think, all day long. I looked like really quick, and I was like, man, they're like cheap in a lot of the areas there. So yeah, they are a bit more expensive. As you get towards New York, they get really crazy, or any city like Philadelphia or anything like that. Luckily, I'm out more in the countryside. I am looking to move into another state, maybe Delaware or Maryland. The property taxes are a little bit lower down there. Also, the housing prices are a little bit better there, but I'm still weighing those options. Abigail says, when am I going to learn cut time, Tim? I do not know. 8th note, 16th note, I understand, but to count the timing while playing, it's a big problem for me. Yeah, you know what? That took me a long time, Abigail, to get the hang of. What I recommend you do, if you may have seen this lesson already, but I kind of want to point you in the right direction. So if just type in first rhythm lesson into YouTube, and mine pops up first here, and take a look at that lesson first, because that really breaks things down from the beginning, and hopefully that will help catch you up rhythm wise. You're near Boston, so I think in Boston it's probably pretty expensive, I would imagine. Harvard says, the thing is, I'm training a newbie here at work, so I don't get to focus on the stream as much. Oh man, hopefully I can focus more in the future. When you say, so you don't miss a beat at the end of the video, you should make it a trademark. Seems to really fit this channel. Yeah, I agree. That did kind of fit, especially with the metronome lesson that I did. I am playing by ear without a problem, although I have to know the tune. Yeah, so you know what? You're probably one of those students, Abigail, that does better playing by ear. I don't do as well with that. I've trained myself to get better at that, but some people are naturally gifted at playing by ear. What I found a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, those students struggle on the other side of the things, which is the timing, reading notes, and things like that, because they depend on their ears a lot to figure everything out. So you're kind of in a good and bad situation where you're at, but keep at it, and once you get that other side of the understanding, you'll actually be at an advantage over a lot of other students who are not as good at hearing or picking out differences between sounds. We got Acosta here. Hey, Master, thank you from my... Okay, I don't know those words because I Sinaloa, Mexico. Thank you from Mexico. All right. Well, thank you for coming out. So happy I could reach you all the way from here in Pennsylvania to Mexico. So happy you could be here. All right. Anybody else who is new, by the way, we meet Fridays, Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're always welcome to join us back. We are off next Sunday, but we are meeting next Friday where we will be talking about, let me see. What are we talking about? We're going to be talking about common problems piano students face. I'm going to try to put some nice, tasty tidbits of information in there for you if you are new. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Abigail says, Tim, please remember to work out something for me to donate. Yes, you're quite correct. That is why I'm trying with the reading. Okay, yeah, I'll try to remember something for you to donate. You can also go try it out from patreon.com/lessons on the web and see if you can donate from there. They are making a new sponsorship button for channels. And what the difference is between that and the super chat is that instead of like super chatting me during the lesson, like making a donation during the lesson, you'll be able to actually support the channel for like $5 a month or something like that. It's actually a lot like Patreon from what I think. Barbara says, my ear usually tells me when I get the notes wrong. God bless you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Julio says, thanks, Tim. To be honest, you've explained reading music better than most teachers on YouTube. Thank you. You mean all teachers on YouTube. Thanks for today's lesson, Tim. Have a great night and a great weekend. You too, Jordan. All right, let me get like a formal outro here so when I piece together the video, it makes sense. And we're going to go from there. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of something that means so much to me, which is teaching the world piano and music. This channel is all about giving you the tools to chase your passion of learning piano and music so that you can share that gift with others, whether it's through teaching, playing, or I don't know, just whatever which way you want. So go out and share what I've taught you with the world. So thanks everybody for coming out. Subscribe if you want to become a part of our classroom and get regular updates of the lessons we put out. So thanks everybody. I'll talk to you real soon. Thank you, says Bernadine. You're very welcome, Bernadine. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. If you're interested in purchasing some courses or taking a look, go to pianolessonsontheweb.com. Remember, code YouTube's going to give you 15% off any order of courses. All right, everybody, have a great night. I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you next Friday. Julia says, yes, I mean all teachers on YouTube. Thanks again, Tim, for being here and helping. You're welcome. Thank you. See you soon. All right. Good night. Good morning, everybody. See you in a week's time. Have a pleasant and blessed Mother's Day and a prosperous week ahead. Keep well and cheers. I love being a part of this family. Good night. Have a good weekend. Okay, Living Piano Videos is a good channel. Happy Mother's Day to all. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all. Hug your mothers. They have done so much for you, and I don't want to get like morbid or anything, but you never know when you won't be able to see them anymore. So, appreciate the time you have with them. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.